Virgo, and thank you for joining me, and welcome to this reading for March to April. I'm doing a second shot at it because last night when I did it, some cards came in the reversal and I wasn't very happy with that. As you guys know, I don't like reversals. It's a sign of a bad reading. So if you only read upright cards and you get reversals coming up, it's a sign that something, really ominous is around you. And it came up both in Scorpio and Virgo. So, and it was snowing around me. I'm kind of shamanistic in my perspective, and there was like snow coming down all day. It was weird. The weather was cold and gross, and I don't know, it didn't feel right. So I'm back and I have the Scorpio reading went really well. I'm super stoked about that. I had a good talk with Sal, my buddy. You guys should check out his channel. He's awesome. But I also got this. Maybe Sal's watching, but this is my plant. You guys have seen it before because I've had it for a while, but it runs dormant, which means that it dies completely. And it's a resurrection plant, signifying transformation, change, growth. And it's pretty big. This is the Rose of Jericho. I love this plant. I really like the desert in general. That's where Sal lives, and I always like watching his Instagram pictures. So I just put it in some water, so we should expect to see it bloom a little bit for us. I also have another little treat. I know this is a long start, so just somebody get the time cap for when I actually begin the reading, and we'll leave it in the comments section below. But this is a cedar block. As you guys know, here are my powerful tongs from my daddy, and my dad is a contractor, and so he has all the tools. So when I asked for something, he gave me the best thing going. So it's not about fancy equipment, it's really about getting things done, protecting your hands. I'm just trying to light this, but the candle there isn't very good. So cedar is so wonderful. It's about protection, very similar to sage. It's used very commonly around the Northwest, or on the West Coast as we call it in Canada. It's by First Nations people. It's a very traditional practice. It's a smudge also, but I like cedar over sage actually. I prefer it. Plus it's kind of cheaper, although this stuff was pretty fancy. But yeah, I'll light 2 blocks because I really like a good hit of it. I know it sounds like I'm a junkie. I'm a junkie for cedar. But Sal, also I want to give him a shout out because he encouraged me to bring out my crystals again because he's going to be doing crystal readings. I also want to give a special shout out to my man Lamar Tarot. He's putting out a lot of content on the various different kinds of astrological signs and their like compatibilities. He's taking lots of different perspectives and explaining how to relate to different signs. So he's putting in a lot of effort for that, and he's doing a great job. He's also a wonderful singer, especially if you like if you're like a bit of a hipster and you like the alternative thing. He's a really wonderful artist. So I really, really enjoy his work. So both of them, go check them out. They've been wonderful to me, such good friends. So yeah, let's get into it. I talked about the crystals a little bit in the Scorpio reading, so go check that out if you are interested. And so yeah, so let's take a look at the first card. So your central card is the 8 of Cups, and I talked about this in Scorpio, so you can watch my reading there for this a little bit. But we're talking about kind of walking away with our emotions, like deprioritizing stress, and rather than fixating on something that we are really stressed about, focusing on something that gives us kind of remittance from sadness. Now this is kind of like feeling less intensity towards the feelings and emotions that you have. I have this fluorite here, which I didn't talk about yet. I love fluorite, it's so pretty. This is just a rough specimen, like literally just a little fluorite. It's perfect, the color of it. Now maybe we can do a little crystal gazing so you guys can do your own sesh. So why don't you focus on this Eight of Cups and think about what it is emotionally, whether you're a Virgo or not, what it is emotionally that you want to let go of, okay? What is it? The fluorite crystal will clear out your heart chakra and clarify the mind, okay? So just think about when it gets into focus, look at the fluorite. You can pause the video. Just think about whatever it is that you're letting go, particularly of anything that you feel like tense about or really stressed out. Okay? And this reading's good for Sun, Moon, and Rising Virgo, but also if you have a Venus in Virgo or a Mars, can really clarify some things. Or Jupiter or Neptune, whatever you want, but that's getting a little technical. Okay? So let's put that here for clarity. This can mean that you're walking away from something that was really important to you once, looking towards a brighter future, away from what you have. Here is the second card. We have the Ace of Wands. So as you're walking away, something new is really coming through for you. This is a card of sex, so maybe you're feeling like you're getting hit on a bit, or maybe like there is some kind of action happening for you. This is the Morgan Greer Tarot. I got the Italian edition just so I can have the non-shiny cards. But the Ace of Wands is also a spiritual beginning, feeling excited, spring is in the air, you know, put a spring in your step and move forward. On top of the reading is the King of Wands. So this is a Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries. And so this is someone with whom you are presenting your interest or maybe really vibing. This is someone who has a lot of business abilities. This is someone who can really kind of influence a situation, invest in the future, sees the perspective or the potential of business interactions and harnesses them to their maximum. This is someone who moves really fast. So as a Virgo, you like to be a little bit slow and paced. Me and Sal were talking about something yesterday and he's like, okay, I'm ready. He's a Sag. So he's like, okay, I'm ready. And I'm like, hold on. He's like, hurry up. So he's kind of pushing me along and I'm kind of saying, like, putting the brakes on things a little bit. So yeah, it's a good working relationship when one person is very progress oriented and the other one is very focused on refinement of ideas. So maybe you have a person like this. This is also someone who can have potentially a lot of money to give to you for whatever project. This isn't just like a handout. This would be an investment. This would be a team work situation or some kind of practical goal that you're trying to achieve. In the below position, we see the Hermit. So this is another Virgo. I do sense that for many Virgos, more Virgos are coming in your way. Like personally, I haven't seen too many Virgos around in my life, and I always have had Virgos around me. And I feel like maybe on the low, there's some Virgos that are creeping on you in a nice way. They're like creeping in with their, you know, little lamp. Has anybody ever noticed that the Virgo holds the star in their lamp? That's really an important part of the tarot system. So it's like understanding your own destiny, right? And moving forward regardless of what the circumstances are like. The snowy atmosphere, right? So the Virgo is coming in on the low. On the low, you're making your changes. And on the outward appearance of things, you're kind of shining bright. So this could be you, Virgo, too, kind of being like, hey, I'm here, you know, blah, blah, exciting and new and all this stuff. But on the low, you're actually making some really kind of practical changes towards a direction that you really want to take. In the past, we have the Lovers. So this is the card of Gemini. I love this Lovers card, by the way. And so I just love this deck. I just have to say it. It's one of my favorite decks. And I didn't buy it, the new one, because it was so shiny. It was so shiny, I just can't use it. So I got an old deck, but it's new, but The only deck I could get is like a Spanish or an Italian one, so I got the Italian one because you know I'm classy like that. Anyway, so we have the Lovers. Maybe this was an emphasis on romance, love, family, leading into this situation, togetherness, symbiotic relationships, maybe catharsis about your relationship with your brothers and sisters when you were growing up. Maybe this is overcoming situations, falling in love. But now it seems as though you're taking a different path. Although both, if you are with a partner right now, and it's kind of getting to the point where one or both of you are walking away from the situation, rest assured that both of you are looking towards what you had. So that's a really good indication that both parties want to or are considering reassessing the situation and moving forward. This is my favorite crystal I have, probably one of my favorites. I don't show some of the ones that I really love because I like to keep them secret because I have Scorpio nature. Anyway, so we have a Lemurian crystal, and it's a twin. It was given to me by a really good friend who I'm hopefully going to see today. I'm so excited. Anyway, so we have the Lemurian crystal twin. You guys can see the buildings, hey? Ooh, big buildings. Anyway, so Lemurian twin crystal. Twin crystals are wonderful. So this could be a soulmate. And if not, then I hope that this crystal brings you towards being closer to one of your soulmates. The oncoming energy that you're dealing with is the Eight of Swords. Okay, so you're working through some tough questions. I also like the Eight of Swords. I know I'm not a masochist, I promise, but the Eight of Swords represents a situation in which that you are trying to solve a problem or trying to solve some kind of predicament and you don't really know how to go about solving it. And so I think that the optimism of the Eight of Swords is that you are moving forward in a new direction and that you know that you are going to achieve the mark. You know you're going to hit your mark. You just don't know how to do it yet. This is the troubleshooting card, you know? So this is definitely a card meaning that maybe right now you could feel less hopeful, but remember that you're going to work your way out. And if you are some kind of, I don't know, into weird, crazy, I know 50 Shades of Grey just came out, so if are into this stuff, then you're having the time of your life, Virgo. So go for it. I don't know, whatever floats your boat. But yeah, I think that you're walking into a situation in which you're going to be trying to figure out how to make it work for you. And I think it's going to take some time, and that's okay too. So you want to make sure that you're okay with, you know, making it work for yourself and just like being okay with not knowing the outcome. I think that you've come from like a culmination point where everything was kind of set up, made to make sense, stable, somewhat like predictable. And I think that you're walking away from that predictability because something about it was kind of not suitable. We'll see that maybe in a minute. But you're walking towards something new that maybe in a certain way, you know, less predictable, but you know this is the direction you want. In fact, you know, if this is you, you're holding the star, so you know your destiny, you know the direction that you are taking. Also, you're going to see lots of Virgos come up because they're going to encourage you on your journey. So they're going to encourage you about the changes that you're making a wise choice, even though it may seem scary at first, right? So here is, but Virgos aren't really scared of things, right? We know that whatever we face, we can face head on. So maybe there's a part of that as well. So the next card, this is you in the situation. You have the Moon. Okay, so the Moon is really a good card to get as well. It means that there's subtlety in whatever it is that you're going through. There's psychic awareness, maybe not like the High Priestess or the Queen of Cups, but you have this natural senses. So look for, you know, look for symbols, look for numbers, look for whatever. I was just telling you guys about the snow, right? Like I look for the type of weather. Like I've lived in this area for like 30 years, so I know like the weather patterns. I'm like the woman on the mountain, you know, looking up over the mountains, being able to see you know, the weather patterns shift and understand like, oh, this is strange, this is weird, what's going on. So use your own matrices for whatever kind of interaction you have with your environment, be it people's behaviors or the weather or any kind of thing, and bring awareness to those things and let them guide you in somewhat a time when you're going to feel a little bit unsure about where things are going. Not in a bad way, just kind of some question marks will be up in the air, right? Here is your next card. So you have the Page of Rods or Page of Wands. This to me always is like you have somebody who's protecting you like you were their mother. And so you have a friend, you have a child, you have a partner who's very protective of you. I would not want to mess with someone who has this in their corner. This is someone who doesn't have enough discernment or experience to be more tempered, and that's working in your favor. So this is someone who's going to really face whatever it is that comes, any challenger, really straight on and really confront any issue that's going on. This is like you have someone who's fierce in your corner, you know? But I always think of this as like a little child who protects his mom. And so this is like that kind of energy also. So you have a great friend in your corner. Maybe your friend is also getting ready to make some kind of offer to you. So maybe you have a friend who's protecting you, or maybe you have a friend who's making an offer to you. Why don't we put this beautiful Libyan desert glass? This is, me and Sal talk about this all the time because it's such a great stone. It's so rare. Unfortunately, Libya is like blocked off because of sanctions, so it's a hard one to get. But this piece is, it's like, almost like a fish. It's almost like a goldfish, hey? Can you guys see it? Can you guys see the goldfish pattern? Oh wow, I love it. And it's kind of uncommon for a Libyan glass because it's so flat. But anyway, so in lieu of Sal and the desert where this is, I don't know if this is Sal or not. I think that you'll have lots of people like this come through, protectors of your dignity, protectors of your whatever. But yeah, so there's a fish, and let's put the fish in the desert. What does a fish do in the desert? But if it's a Libyan desert glass, then it's going to find its way. So here are your hopes and fears. Yeah. So your hopes and fears are that you hope to open up your mind secretly. You don't want to tell anyone, but you do want to open up your mind and see more of the world. You want to have more rich, rewarding experiences. I think that maybe this is where this kind of fell flat. Like maybe it was a little bit too predictable. Maybe it was a little bit too, I'm not sure how to say it. Maybe it was just a little bit not enough of whatever it needs to be special. And maybe you're on currently some kind of journey where you are moving forward towards something more enriching, something deeper, something inspiring, something that you can really get a good inspiration from. So the outcome is the Hierophant. So for me, I'm going to be doing lots of videos. You guys give me a like, yay! But the Hierophant is ruled by the sign of Taurus. This is also the sign, the card of teaching, and the card of education. So many of you may be making a choice to go to school in the long term, or maybe there's going to be some great advice that is being given to you to clarify your situation and really help you along in whatever it is that you are trying to get to or achieve, right? So that's pretty exciting there. I just switched the music up for you guys a little bit. Let me know if it's too loud. I'll turn it down, or if you want it louder. So the next deck I want to use is the deck of Intuitive Tarot, which is really nice. So let's take a look at what it has to say. Super excited about that. Intuitive Tarot. Now this deck isn't perfect, it's flawed, but it's usually like $300. I got it for under $100, which is great. It's so beautiful. It's so worth it. It's out of print. It's one of them decks. It's one of those snobby, you know, it's one of those decks. It has imperfections, so you can see that for some reason some of the cards are printed on in the back, but that's not how I pick cards anyway, so we're good. Anyway, once you see the cards, you guys are gonna freak out. They're so good. And I love their size. They're like the One World Tarot. I love the size of this deck. It's kind of more square and smaller. I find it really comfortable. Anyway, enough of this review. So here is a message for you guys. So the first is the Two of Cups. So there's definitely love where you're coming from. You know, you're coming from a place of love, togetherness, there's oneness. Maybe you're not actually losing it. Maybe you're just kind of deprioritizing this. Maybe this is settled and now you're kind of moving forward into school. You're moving into some kind of widening of experience. Maybe it's time for you to work on your own stuff a little bit and you don't know exactly which way to do that with. Here is the next message. So we have the Six of Swords. So more moving on towards better opportunities. Okay. So Virgo, you're hearing the call, I think. You're really hearing the call about where to take things, about what to do about things. You know, just to let go. There's a journey. Maybe you're going to make a journey with somebody else, like almost like a prodigal son journey, whether you're a man or a woman. Maybe it's calling on you to go your own way, you know. Here is the next message. So we have the Ace of Discs. I like how they're called the One of Discs in this deck. It's the only deck I know that does that. Beautiful card. Look at it. So the Ace of Discs, we need to put a crystal on this one for sure. So the One of Discs, new beginnings, new opportunities. See, I think the King of Wands is going to offer you something up, a new direction, maybe a liberation from something that you weren't able to move forward on. If you're making a choice to move away from a relationship, it could be really motivated by the fact that your intuitive process is saying that. So Virgo is very good in getting in touch with nature, with their own physiology, or with nature around them, and so maybe this is the time to make those changes. Here is the next message. So we have the Queen of Swords. So I feel as though you've made a certain decision or direction. Look at these. Oh, this deck is the most beautiful deck ever painted. Not ever, but like it is one of the decks. Like, oh my gosh. I gush. They're so beautiful, right? The next deck I'll show you is beautiful too. Oh yes, there's more in this reading. This is a long one. So we have the Queen of Swords. Maybe there's a coming together in a relationship between fire signs, Sag, Leo, or Aries, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. Maybe they're having some kind of talking about things. Maybe they're talking about things. Maybe they're figuring things out. Maybe they're finding some kind of resolve in a situation, and something good is coming out of it, and you're becoming empowered and you're taking things to a good direction. So I think that maybe you're not seeing some of this that's going on, but it's happening on your behalf, and I think it's leading you to a good position. This could mean some of you guys will have an unexpected wedding proposal or proposal of some kind to make an agreement for some kind of direction or some kind of work, you know? Let's have a look. So let's take a look at this deck, and this is the Ananda Tarot. There's a couple other decks that have been recently made that are like this, but this is an out of print deck that is just phenomenal. I've never seen a deck done like this in this style before. It's so beautiful. It's out of print, so it's like, again, $300. I got it for much cheaper than that. I don't spend that much money on cards, but it's definitely special. Yeah. So here is your first message, Ace of Cups. So this is about a new relationship, you know, and I do feel like it was meant for here. So Ace of Discs, Ace of Cups, the Il Papa, the Hierophant, right? So there's a new relationship coming through for you. Let's clarify the Eight of Swords. Did anybody notice the flower open up a little bit? It takes a really long time. So it's being resurrected. Let's have a look. So we have the Four of Flames. This is another relationship card. It's the card of home and family togetherness. Maybe you're not sure how to arrange your family at this time. Maybe, you know, how do you arrange a family on the road while you're traveling? You know, a bit of a vagabond. I was a bit of a vagabond in my early 20s. I went all these different places and I lived all over the place. I worked in all these hotels, yeah. Here is the next message, the universe. Yeah, it's time for you to travel. I love this card. Isn't it beautiful? Yes. So I don't even know where to put them. I'm just putting them where I had my mind to. I think my consciousness was leading me to this. So I think there's people who are traveling around you. You're traveling around with them as well. Why don't we put this down also? This is a smoky twin Lumerian crystal. It's so beautiful. I got it for a client, but I don't think they're gonna take it, so I might keep it. And I think it's a bit of a phantom. You can see the intrusion. So yeah, it's pretty special. Anyway, let's put that down with the Hierophant. Yes. So many twin flames. I'm putting it down for Virgo, eh? I'm making it up for yesterday. Okay, let's clarify the Two of Cups. Let's see if that relationship is over. Now, I'll tell you guys a little personal anecdote. My dad's a Gemini and my mom's a Virgo, and there's Two of Cups here. So if you see this connection for me, I'm like, oh, Dad. I'm like, the lovers, yay. And then it's like, oh, it's my dad again, you know. So when you have a Gemini in your life, they burst your bubble often. If you have any aspects in Gemini, you probably find that really funny too. But yeah, there's a new beginning here. And this is an interesting Fool. It has the number 22 rather than 0. So the Fool busting out into the world, new beginnings. You know. Yeah. So I'm not going to tell any more stories. I've learned my lesson about that recently. I'll tell you guys another day. So here is the next message, the Four of Swords. Everything that is happening with a real big degree of a lack of stress. Like you're moving on from things and you're improving situations for yourself. However, I don't think it's with great turmoil or, you know, sadness. Let's clarify the Moon. If you guys want me to clarify something else, let me know. I'll be happy to do it. These are the readings that I do in the bonus. By the way, I do a bonus reading almost every day. You guys can get it. It's $1 for most places. And let me know in the About section to enable your country if it's not enabled already. And yeah, so I just lay down a lot of cards and tell you guys everything you need to know. Here is the next card. So I clarified the Moon. And again, we have the Lovers. So I think that it's kind of like a calling of the heart, the journey to find the deeper love, you know, the deeper connection. What a beautiful Lovers card too. The aesthetic of this deck is just so well done. And it was made in the early 2000s when computers weren't as proficient as they are, and they did such a great job. Photoshop has been great since I've been using Photoshop since 98, so it's been pretty great ever since then. I could erase people in high school and whatever. I would erase people from pictures, and I thought I was being so smart. So the next message is a change of scenery. I think Scorpio got this also. So it's I think Virgo and Scorpio both were saved for the end because they both just need a change. I think that things have gotten a bit, you know, stuck in the mud. And so now it's time for you to kind of go a different direction. Somebody asked if this is a love returning. I think that maybe, if anything, early on you could revisit that love in a certain way. But the Fool here and you kind of going a different direction, I do think it's a new relationship. I do think that you're going in a different direction. Yeah. So here is some cards. I picked 2 from Doreen Virtue because you guys love this deck and I love it too. This is another candle quartz. Is this candle quartz? But it's a twin because of course I'm surrounded by twins. Just like Beyonce. Hey, hey. So anyway, that was corny. But it was kind of cute. Corny cute. But yeah, this is a candle quartz. So let's put that here. Candle quartzes add a lot of softness and temperance to situations. So they really calm situations down. It's really good when you're working with a lot of people. There's also this one, since I'm showing off. Here is another twin that I have. And it's another one. Really beautiful candle quartz, also from Madagascar. Oh, and here, do you see the downloads? You put your thumb on it and you meditate. It's really good. So, all right. Here is the next message. Stay optimistic about your love life. As you're making changes, they're really necessary in order for you to enjoy a greater level of satisfaction. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. I sense that there's some hesitation to change, like this change of scenery. And I feel like it's been happening for you for a while. For me, it's been happening for like a year, literally, since last January. And I think that maybe there's some like hesitancy to give up what you have so that whatever's coming on will not be as good. But I think that sometimes these things are necessary to challenge ourselves, even in ways that are contradictory to that which we think is, you know, good. Here's a Merkaba. I love this Merkaba. So this Merkaba will enlighten us and give us some new direction. Okay. So here is the next message. There's a separation. Okay. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. So I think, but this is probably to do with the 7 of, yeah, you're afraid of that. That's what I was talking about. That's right. So you're afraid of if you go your own way, you're going to be separated. So let's pull another clarifier. I'm not going to leave you alone, Virgo. Don't worry. I know the Virgo fear. I'm a Virgo. It's all good. But I'm also a Leo, so I take care of you. It's all good. Let's have a look. Yeah. So here we go. So, okay. So all you have to do is flirt. Flirt, flirt, flirt. Virgos love to flirt. We're such good flirts. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. So, there's, yeah. So just flirt and have a good time. And things are going to really fall into place. Take it easy, my friends. Take it easy. Don't be so concerned about wherever things are going. I think this reading is much better than yesterday's. Although I think in yesterday's you guys got away with a lot. Like I think it was more on your partner than on you. So, but it looks like there's a change in scenery, an improvement of situations, going to school. Maybe some of you are choosing to go to school somewhere far away, you know, changing a direction. And boom, another ace. So we have 3 aces. It was for that part. This means that success is assured, you know? You're gonna hit your mark, babe. You are. You're gonna do just fine. I'll pick a clarifier for this 8 of Cups in the center. Yeah. Let me know if you want a clarifier in the chat box. So Princess of Flames, Page of Wands, same thing. Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, people love you. They really feel protective over you. They really feel one with you, and they see your genuine and good nature, and I think that you are kind of encouraged by that sentiment to kind of venture out of your little hobbit hole into the wide world. Yeah? Yeah. So, Ace of Flames. Can you believe it? It was for this part. So now we have 4 aces up there. Wow. 4 aces. Four aces is like supreme success. That's like, you know, if it was from the same deck, it would be just next level, but just like this, you're fine. You're fine. You're good. Oh, you can't even see the magic that's down there. I'm so sorry. Let's see if I can. Can you see it now? It's one or the other, you know? So, but yeah, this angle is much better, eh? I got it much better now. You guys can see it much better. Anyway, give me a like for this video. I hope you guys liked it. There's also, let's see what's going over here. The Eight of Spheres. Eight of Spheres is Sun in Virgo, okay? So this is you putting effort and you moving forward. Yeah, so lucky. You guys make a wish. Why don't we light a sparkler just to compensate for all this amazingness? Ooh, a couple lurkers said hello. The aces made the lurkers say hi. Hi, Sierra, and hi, Habia. Hi. So here, let's have a sparkler. There you guys go. Make your wishes, guys. I hope I don't burn my new cards. Woo! Wish is coming through. Did anybody see the flower open up? The Jericho plant? There you go. Four aces is a great place to stop. It looks like it's lit, so there we go. You guys give me a thumbs up. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you soon. Namaste. Have a nice day. Bye.